All right, welcome back everyone to my coverage of the 2020 New Japan Cup. I am the natural Chris Black of the Saturday Night Slamcasters podcast, and I am absolutely blown away from the action that I just witnessed. Night 2 was a night of hard fought matches, and why wouldn't it be? There's a lot on the line in this tournament. The winner of the New Japan Cup will get a chance at Naito's IWGP Heavyweight and Intercontinental Championships at Dominion on July 12th. Now, like all other wrestling companies, there's no fans in attendance, but the wrestling has me so interested, I hardly even notice. There's no long, boring promos or backstage segments. They let the workers tell the story inside the ring. And since it's a tournament, the stories pretty much write themselves, especially when you mix in some established rivalries. Now, I will admit that I am still very new to watching New Japan. I watched it here and there, but I've been following it more so in the last year, following the G1 Climax last year, up until Wrestle Kingdom 14, which was absolutely amazing. So there's a lot of guys that I haven't been exposed to yet, and since New Japan at this time does not have access to their full rosters, there's a lot of people that I'm watching for the first time. So let's get into some of this action. First match, you have Gabriel Kidd taking on Taiji Ishimori in a first round match. Kidd is one of the young lions from the LA Dojo, originally from England. Ishimori is a member of the Bullet Club and a former junior heavyweight champion. And he came out sporting like a shredder type helmet, which I thought was pretty cool. This match starts off with some good technical wrestling. Ishimori obviously has the speed and experience advantage, but Kidd does have the strength and size. The match is taken to the outside where Ishimori punishes Kidd by throwing him hard into the barricade. Ishimori has a very slow, methodical style, which I like, where he stalks his opponent. Ishimori goads Kidd into some chops before delivering a knockdown chop of his own. Ishimori has Kidd reeling as he goes up and comes off the top rope, but is cut off by a nice drop kick. I'm enjoying this story of the veteran taking on the young lion. Kidd starts to gain the upper hand and then hooks Ishimori into a Boston Crab, but Ishimori escapes when he gets to the rope. They once again get into another striking match, and Ishimori lays out Kidd with the well-placed kick and puts him into the yes lock for the win at 8 minutes and 53 seconds. I have no idea where Ishimori came from, but I'm really liking this guy. He has the intensity that I like. He's got the moveset that I like. He works at a slow, methodical pace. I definitely want to see more of this guy. All right, match number 2. You had Yuya Uemura versus Yoshinobu Kanemaru. If you don't remember, Uemura was the one from night 1 who wanted to take on Kenzo Suzuki. So his motivation going into this match is that as soon as he gets rid of Kanemaru, he'd be able to get to Minoru Suzuki. Kanemaru, however, has 23 years in the business and is usually a tag team competitor. Before the bell rings, Uemura wastes no time and attacks Kanemaru and throws him to the outside. The match doesn't start until he throws Kanemaru back into the ring. Uemura is clearly the aggressor going into this match. Kanemaru gains the advantage after going to the outside and shoots Uemura into the barricade while draping him over and then drops a leg drop. Uemura barely makes it back to the ring for the 20 count. Kanemaru is now in control, working over the neck, using moves like a head scissors, putting him in a tray of woe, sticking his foot directly onto his chin to kind of stretch the neck. He is slowly dissecting Uemura, but is countered by a suplex and tries to shake off the beating that he just took from Kanemaru. Uemura hits a beautiful springboard crossbody for the 2 count, followed by another great move, a double underhook suplex for another 2 count. He goes for the German, but then gets blocked. Uemura hits the ropes. Kanemaru pulls a ref in the way, but when the ref moves, he hits Uemura with a step-up enziguri, taking control of the match once again. Yumiro is able to recover and goes into a series of quick pins until Kanemaru gets the upper hand, works over the neck some more, and then hits him with a deep impact, which is like a diving DDT for the pin in 9 minutes and 32 seconds. This was a great match. It told a really good story, and I really enjoy when a wrestler works over the body part that is included in the finish. Again, awesome match. Okay, so the next match is one of those 8-man tag matches that again gives you a preview of some upcoming matches. So we have Sho and Yoshihashi and Hiroki Goto going up against Los Ingobernables de Japan, which is Bushi, Shinzo Takagi, Sanada, and Evil. Yo and Bushi start the match. They will be meeting in a first round match, I believe, in the next couple days. They get in some quick tads and they shine on Bushi a little bit until LIG puts a knee to the back of Hashi and takes control. They beat down everybody, throws them all to the outside. They start the heat on Yoshihashi. Eventually, Hashi is able to fire up against Takagi, and they exchange some brutal forearms and chops. Hot tag to Sho after Hashi gets the advantage. Sho and Takagi go at it a bit with some more intensity. Obviously, there must be some history between these two guys. Bushi and Yo get back in the ring. There's a good back and forth exchange. Goto gets tagged in, but is quickly attacked by Sanada and Evil, helping Bushi gain the advantage. There's a sort of a waterfall spot where everyone's hitting their finishers in the middle of the ring. In the end, Goto hits the GTR on Bushi for the win in 12 minutes and 14 seconds. Again, these matches are designed to give you a preview of some matches to come. I am very much looking forward to some of these matches. There's a lot of intensity in this match. Great match overall. Okay, now let's get into my favorite match tonight. But not for the reasons that you may think. So you have first round match, Yuji Nagata versus Minoru Suzuki. Now Minoru Suzuki I'm familiar with from watching, and this guy is brutal. So apparently Kevin Kelly says this is one of the best rivalries in New Japan Pro Wrestling, as these two have faced each other about 10 times in single competition since 2003. And as of right now, their series is tied at 5 wins apiece. So this match starts out hot. Suzuki and Nagata starts exchanging forearms. Suzuki just laughs off the attacks like it's not phasing him at all. This match is full of a lot of hard hitting and striking. At one point, Suzuki puts his hands behind his back, daring him to hit him harder. They switch to some open hand strikes. This is all happening within the first 5 minutes. It's just beating the hell out of each other. Finally, Suzuki does use a wrestling move and takes him down with a knee bar, takes him to the outside, and attempts to use a chair, which the referee stops. I'm not happy that Suzuki was risking disqualification because he's just haphazardly throwing the ref around and using weapons, beating Nagata down, and then gets into the ring, and he just barely makes the 20 count back. So they get in the ring, they're back to striking each other. Suzuki takes him down. Nagata keeps getting up. Nagata blocks a PK kick and takes down Suzuki with a P kick of his own. But Suzuki is not going down. He's giving him those Daniel Bryan style kicks to the chest, but Suzuki is not going down at all. Suzuki catches Nagata in a rear neck and choke, goes for the pin. When that doesn't work, he hooks him back into the rear neck and choke. Eventually he goes for the Gotch style pile driver, but Nagata is fighting out of it. At this point, Nagata's mouth is just bleeding. You can see the blood in his mouth. They're back to exchanging blows. Suzuki delivers a brutal headbutt. Both men go down. Once they get back up, they're again exchanging some stiff shots. Nagata surprisingly catches him with an exploder suplex and then hits a back suplex for the pin in 20 minutes, 35 seconds. Unfortunately, Suzuki is out of the tournament, and he also loses on his birthday. Man, I have to say, if there is one match you watch from this night, watch the Nagata versus Suzuki match. You will not regret it. If you're into hard-hitting Japanese-style wrestling, you're not going to want to miss this one. And in the final match of the evening, you have Kazuchika Okada taking on Gedo of the Bullet Club. I have to be honest, this was my least favorite match on the card, even though Okada is one of my favorite in New Japan. Gedo, once again, because they don't have access to their full roster, a lot of people are forced to compete in this tournament that probably shouldn't be, and Gato's one of them. I recognize him as the guy who's normally outside helping Jay White win a lot of his matches. But for what it's worth, the match is still decent. It's just not one of my favorites. Gato comes out to the ring wearing a sling on his arm, complaining that he can't, I guess, compete. Okada stops him, and he tries to pull out a can of mace. So Okada kind of throws the mace down. So now the match starts. Gato decides to just lay down, like he's just going to take the pin. But then as soon as Okada approached him, he tried to roll him up really quickly. So Okada was not going to fall for that and starts to stomp on Gato. Pulls a pair of brass knuckles from Gato's pockets. While the ref was turned around, Gato grabs a wrench from the taped on his side and hits Okada with it. So he starts brutalizing Okada in the rib, stomach region. And I have to say, when they go to the outside, the ref, Red Shoes, really lets a lot slide. I mean, they're using chairs, or excuse me, not they. Gato is using chairs. He at one point grabs the timekeeper's, the hammer for the bell and hits Okada with the bell. He keeps throwing him against the barricades, just really working over his ribs and his abdominal region. Back in the ring, Okada starts to build momentum, but is still selling the ribs. Again, Gato has no business in the ring with Okada, so they have to give him something to make the match interesting. So with Okada not at 100%, being constantly attacked on the ribs, Gato has somewhat of a chance. So that's the only reason why Okada just doesn't straight up kill him during this match. But whatever. Okada gets shoved into the ref, gets low blowed by Gato. He has weapons hidden all over the ring as he pulls out a pair of brass knuckles that were attached to the ring post right underneath the ring skirt. Hits Okada with the brass knucks, knocking him out. Goes for the pin, but Okada does kick out. Okada starts to gain the upper hand, puts him in a Cobra Sleeper, which I've never seen him use, and Gato taps out in 15 minutes, 30 seconds. Whew, once again, not my favorite match, but not a bad match by far. Once again, they're really good with telling stories. The only reason why it wasn't my favorite match was because of Gato. I don't buy him as a threat, but I think they did a really good job with working over Okada's ribs so that he was somewhat at a disadvantage. So again, he didn't just straight up kill him. So there we go. That's it for night 2 of the 2020 New Japan Cup. Be sure to give me a follow on Facebook and Instagram at The Natural Chris Black. Also, you can follow me on Twitter at _natural_CB. Don't forget to check out the Saturday Night Slamcasters podcast. We will be dropping episode 59 on Saturday, June 27th. And with all the things that are going on recently, trust me, we have a lot to talk about. Be sure to give us a subscribe. Also, go to our YouTube channel, Saturday Night Slamcasters. Subscribe to the content there as we do a lot of different things other than just a podcast. We are right now in the midst of reviewing all of the Dark Side of the Ring series season 2. We just released our New Jack episode last week. The next will be the following week. And since you're here, might as well hit that subscribe button so you're notified whenever new content is posted, as I will be covering every night in the tournament. So until then, this has been the Natural Chris Black of the Saturday Night Slamcasters. Come get slammed.